Freedom is good, man. Freedom is good. As I sit comfortably in my home, at peace, enjoying the peace, there's war and destruction. As the conflict of Israel and Hamas rages on, it makes my freedom even sweeter. But yet, I am empathetic with the Palestinian people. Because even though war breaks out, there are rules of war. But right now, there's no water, food, and electricity that have been cut off. Their most basic human needs have been cut off from their master, Israel. It's sad, man. War and destruction. The collateral damage are the people. As I do my times in the Fed. And, I spend my time wisely. I read a lot of history, I read the American history from the time the natives live on this land and the pilgrims come, and then the pilgrims see how vast this land is and how fertile this land is, and they want it. So the pilgrims plot and plan, and as you can see, Pilgrim took the whole land, and freedom from the British. The Pilgrim was sent here by the Queens, but because of, also at the same time, because of oppression, taxation, and look what happened, right? 1776. But even that, right after that, we have civil war, internal strife among ourselves because of issues such as slavery. And there was a civil war. World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and then Vietnam War. 9/11, Iraq, Afghanistan War. I read about different empires. The Greeks, the Persian, the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, the Ottoman Empire. And the Ottoman Empire played a crucial role of how Israel's state established today. You know what I'm saying? So this conflict there's a lengthy history behind it. If folks just look at it and they're gonna just side one side. For us, people that kill other people, for us, if there's no logical reason, we'll call them terrorists. But for the people that live in those lands, they call themselves freedom fighters. So how is it defined? It probably defined by us differently than it defined by their people. So the Ottoman Empire, after World War I, they was declining, and the British and French were capitalized on it. And I'm just scratching the surface, man. This history is lengthy, so y'all can have a brief understanding why this conflict is still lasting for so long. And at that time, the Allies consider the U.S., the Russian, British, French, and I think Italy as well. But this time, British and French really uh, in a major role of plot and plan to cause the Ottoman Empire to collapse, and they play the Arab among themselves with the Arab help. You know what I'm saying? And they're making vain promises to the Arab of independence. But behind closed door, they already plot, you know, who lands belong to who. The French end up with, when the Ottoman Empire fell, you know, Lebanon and Syria belonged to the French. Iraq, the later Iraq and Palestine belonged to the British. Now you see why the British have this declaration called Balfour Declaration, if I'm not mistaken, that declare they will provide the big landmass in Palestine too. But at this time, there's another movement called Zionism. So this declaration is open the door for Jews from Europe or from whoever to be able to migrate to this land and make this land their home, which is where the Palestinian people live. But because the British have occupying that land, so they got the power. So now they do whatever they want with that land. So you already see the Palestinian people already suffer. Because of the collapse of Ottoman Empire, now the British in charge. Now they give this land to the Zionists. Now they make this land as the permanent home to the Zionists. And fast forward, they become the occupation. And it's been 70 years. I think Palestinian people, I think that the only people on this planet Earth still living under occupation. Man, living under occupation, it's a different kind of evils, man. It's like slavery days. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. There are two streets, one for Israel, one for the Palestinian people. Palestinian people get trapped in. I was in refugee camp before, but in hindsight, the refugee camp I was in is nothing compared to the Palestinian people. You know, because they're being monitored 24/7. They can't go in and out without the permission of Israel. So you see their life have many difficulties. And not only that, their food, water, electricity being supplied by Israeli government. The basic things, the basic needs, man, is being controlled. That is miserable. Another thing is, my grandpa, during the time of occupation, the Vietnamese people were occupied by the French for almost 100 years. We were living under an evil regime, right? So much suffering, so much chaos. It's a different kind of evils, man. My grandpa got his neck cut and buried alive. And there are many more like him that die and buried alive. So the people that never have a direct connection, most people don't feel that. You know, they don't feel that, man. But there's nothing compared to when you live under occupation, man. And that's what's going on. There's the physical war, but there's There's an inner war that we are waging right now in our human flesh and blood, man. In order for us to end wars and have peace, we have to win the battle within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying, man? Because the battle within ourselves spring forth greed, interest, selfishness, power, control, hatred, domination. That's what it is, man. So when I was in the Fed, I used my time wisely. That's why the conflict between Hamas and Israel, there's a lengthy history behind it. These people living under occupation for 70 years, man. My point is, it is the inner wars that causes all this, man. When I was in the Fed, let me tell you a story. When I was in the Fed, standing in line getting food. So when we move inside a child hall, man, you know, prison. I was in the Fed. Prison is the most segregated place on the planet Earth, man. Walking to the child hall, you know what time it is. Black shit over there, white shit over there, that section. You got skinhead, you know what I'm saying? You got the Sunni Muslim, you got the Nation of Islam, you got the Moors, you got a Christian, you got a Hispanic, which is the Paisa, the Norteño, and the Texas Mexican. Because I was in Midwest region, so you don't see no California Mexican or Hispanic. You don't see the Sereno, you don't see the MS-13. But while we waiting to get our trays, the staffs, at lunchtime, the staff is all over the place. Probably 20, 30 staffs. As I glance over, man, I see this white boy coming up, another white dude. He come up behind another white dude and pull out a razor blade and cut his neck from here to here. And while this boy fighting, he pull his forehead back so his cut can widen and the blood gushing out. And they were yelling to stop turning, stop turning, and saw that happen. They rushed the dude, got him on the floor. And then, and then they start putting a whole bunch of shirt and towel on this dude's neck and blood everywhere. They have to call in the helicopters just to save him and took him to the emergency room, man. That's wars inside the walls. That's the war within ourselves, man. There's evil existing within ourselves. We need to battle these inner wars in order to stop the physical wars, man. That's why you battle every day. Economically, you have to win the wars of wanting to be better. You have to take control and master yourself. Man. I hope one day the Palestinian people will be free. I hope most people will read the history and see the true reason why these people are doing what they're doing. May peace, love spread all over the planet Earth. Y'all take care, man. Freedom is good. Freedom is good. Remember that, y'all. You have a good night. See y'all soon.